Yeah, I think he's proven it. He's played games already, over the course of a couple of years. He's really adapted well to our system. He's done really good on kind of our movement stuff, our keeper stuff. He's adapted to our drop back game, which is different than a lot of other guys, or not other guys. It's different than other schemes. He's been in, just how we approach it. And then, play pass, I think typically guys kind of figure out pretty quick. It's more, adapting to the drop back. He already has a feel for the keepers, and then the nomenclature and being able to use the verbiage. He's really picked that up pretty quick, which I think is a testament to kind of how smart he is and how he's been doing the whole time. Yeah, I think that's for everybody. That's kind of for all of them, we feel great about our quarterback room all the way across the board. We feel great about our receiver room all the way across the board. So, there's times after practice, CJ's getting reps with some guys that are on practice squad. He's getting reps with Steven Sims. There's times Case Keenum is out there after practice getting reps with Robert Woods. And, we really mix it up. We're very intentful when we try to mix it up. And Davis, after practice, being able to connect with these guys at any time, making sure we're always where we're on the same page. We can feel guys out of the breaks. As a quarterback, that's usually the biggest thing in this offense, because we're so aggressive in how much we trust letting it go. We really emphasize letting things go early on a lot of concepts, and that takes a lot of trust in receivers and in believing that guys are going to be where they need to be out of breaks, and that's something earned. You have to put the work in for that. So we're very intentful in making sure that everybody kind of gets their fair share all the way across the board both ways. Yeah, we're hopeful on CJ. He's going to go through the process all through the week. We'll see where that ends up, and then we feel great about the guys in the quarterback room, and I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I think competition is good for everybody. We approach camp. I said this before, every position had competition at it. There was no set in stone spot. We believe in that a great deal. We think that really sparks growth. You can't always be comfortable and expect to improve, and we kind of want to simulate some uncomfortable situations. And we did that as much as we could. We did that with CJ, obviously, coming in as a rookie. We did that with Davis. We did that with Case. We did that with receivers. We did that at O-line. We've kind of done that all the way across the board. And you can see, just like in everything, there's another level of intensity, There's a new urgency that you have to have when you know that, something's not given to you. You have to go earn it. And whether you do that or you don't, whether you win or lose in that specific competition, it makes you a better player. I think that shows with how we've played this year, just the amount of injuries and things that we've had to work through, and how we've kind of just constantly had a next man up mentality. A lot of that we believe was built in camp. And built just with the foundation of what we want to be as an organization, as an offense, and as a defense. Coach, yeah, I'd say a significant amount of the gap he's closed. He's definitely looking more like the John Mechie that was at Alabama, that we saw on film when he was coming out in the draft. But it's football's not a sport you can just roll out of bed and just do. They're, especially at this level, when you go against the elite athletes and guys that you have to go against day in, day out, there's a lot of skilled training that needs to go into that. There's a lot of, built up leg strength. Built up contact strength, built up speed. It's a lot, and having to go through what Mech went through, and not even without that, not having stepped on the football field for 18 months like that, there's no way around that, not showing. It's going to show a little bit. So the steps he's taken beyond just practice, the steps he's taken in the meeting room when he can, the steps he's taken post-practice on his own, making sure his body's just getting that much better, really every week over the course of the season. You can really see the growth. You can see, if you throw on tape from week one to right now, I would say they probably don't even look like the same player, and I think that's going to continue until he really gets back to, what I feel like he thinks he is from leaving Alabama. Yeah, I know I've hit on their skills before. Mechie's he's always been a really good football player. I would say he doesn't have one thing he's elite at. He's just really good at everything across the board. And then Hutch is a really big body that moves pretty fast and fights through contact really, really well. And they definitely have used those over the course of, their time to be out there and play. But I think there's some areas of their games, in both their games, and really everyone that's been out there, that last Sunday was just a good indicator. Like, we got to clean these up. We have to improve on these areas to ensure that, we can take advantage of your strengths, because we try as hard as we can, but eventually you have to have a counter, and both those guys are kind of working through that process. That takes time. That takes reps. That takes, real live bullets when you're out there, and how guys are playing you in man, and how you need to adjust and what you need to do a little different. And I think they're kind of building that callus, as I like to say, and kind of working through that. And just like they've been, I expect that to just keep improving. Yeah, 1,000%. You always want to call a game to your player strengths, and it starts with the quarterback. What do guys do well? I think we all can agree CJ throws the ball probably better than most people and humans we've ever seen. He threads needles all the time. That's a special trait he has. Davis has some other traits. I already mentioned some stuff he does on the move that I think it's really impressive. Case can own. He's been around a long time. He can own operation. He can own play calls. So, you always are going to make adjustments to whoever's out there. It's the same at any other really skilled position up front. We had different game plans when we had some different tackles in. We're always going to make sure that we're putting guys in positions to let them succeed. Yeah, we got to stop making mistakes. Simple as that. Can't keep busting. Yeah, really the whole game for us came down to third down. I think we were 1 for 12 on third down, 0 for 3 on fourth down. We came out, we were running the ball pretty well. I'd say it was a good first, second down. It was a good 50-50 split, which is kind of what we want to get to keep it balanced. But what we were running into was we weren't running for first downs. We were running for really, what you would consider efficient third down opportunities. We were somewhere between 3rd and 2 to 6 or 7 often. And I felt like we converted none of them except for the first or the second third down of the game, and that was multiple factors in that, but it all kind of boils down to that we didn't play good, and that starts with me. That starts with the play calls. That starts with coaching, that all the way across. We just got to play better. And in particular, we have to stay on the field. When we got explosives and we didn't have to get to third down, like the drive we scored on, then we were able to move it. But you're only going to hit for second down explosives so many times. We got to maximize our opportunities and make sure we stay out there.